Aloha everyone. I am back from small kind hiatus. Been going through what I'm kind of defining as a distilling process of sorts. It's been a lot of change on personal levels for me, and just a distilling of kind of who I am, and tossing out of old beliefs and really getting to more the core of who I really am. So it's I think been about a month since the last video, and if this is your first time watching the video, I'm Holly, and so just wanted to get back into it. It finally feels like time again to share. There's been a few things that have been up, and it's going to be a little bit more, a little bit different sharing with you today, because part of the distillation process for me is the recognition of individuality and individual truths. So I may still speak in the we and you and those type of words, but I'm going to be speaking of my own process, because that's really all that I can share with you. Everyone will have their own processes with everything. Everybody's going through their own stuff. So so a little bit of what I've gone through and what I have been guided to share is the preciousness of individuality, but that not being separate from that oneness and that beingness that we've been talking about. Part of what I have come to know as my truth, at least for now, is, we've talked about for a long time how we're mirrors for each other, that whatever you see in me is what you have, and vice versa. I believe that to be true on some levels still, but I no longer see that we are mirrors for each other. What I've seen with that is that once you awaken from your own nightmare and from your own dreams, you realize that you've been living in a type of bubble, and that bubble is reflective on the inside. So we are seeing each other as mirrors, but only because we're in our mirrored bubble. So if you can visualize that, once someone approaches you and you're living in this inner mirrored bubble, they're like a shadowy figure on the outside, and whatever is being reflected on the inside is somewhat superimposed upon them. And once that bubble pops, you're able to see people for who they really are. And it's not about seeing their negative qualities or any of that, because I do believe that we all have every quality that there is. And that we are so much larger than we know, that we are our own individual universe. But there's a different thing that's happened for me, at least with this. I've gone through a pretty intense period of really being within my own bubble for a while and experiencing what is my truth. I've done a lot of checking in with and searching outside of myself for answers through my whole life. And it's in the past few weeks that, in checking in with others, there was hardly anything that really resonated with my truth in those conversations, and just even in life itself, going out and listening to people talk and going, wow, that is not anything like my experience or my truth right now, and going through levels of frustration with that and everything. But that was really part of my belief system breaking away, and being able to kind of break that mirrored bubble and seeing people more clearly now, and seeing that preciousness of individuality. There's a level of understanding that comes from, we are all one and we are mirrors of each other and everything else, but it's a different experience. At least it's been a different experience for me, of really seeing people and seeing who they are and who they are inside, even beyond their behaviors and beyond what's going on with them, and really being able to have a deep love for them and an appreciation for them, and like seeing that preciousness. It's kind of, akin to, and this, bear with me, it's a little akin to seeing like a litter of puppies and seeing how precious each one is, that individuality, and or anything that you can see multiples of, or you can still see the individuality of each one, and have an appreciation for each personality, or each flower on a tree, or whatever it is that you are able to experience the multitude of what is in front of you and the individuality at the same time. And that is one of the keys to this oneness and this beingness that we've been talking about. It's being able to see that oneness of the tree with the flowers, and still see the individual flower and each individual petal of each one, and just notice everything that's going on there. That is part of what the Arcturians are about. It's part of that beingness. It's not, losing the individual flower for the tree, or losing the tree for the flower. It's about both. It's about the everything. So I've been experiencing a bit of that. So that's been super cool. I hesitate to say that's where we're going, and that's, what's happening for everybody, because I think there are a lot of spiritual teachers who have mistaken their own path for everyone's path. And I don't want to go there. But this is my experience, and this is my experience of the Arcturians, and my experience of those truths. So, it may resonate with you, it may not. There may be pieces of it that do, and others that kind of fall flat like a pancake, which is my experience when it's something that doesn't resonate or is a lie or whatever. So, anyway, I wanted to share that a bit. Have some notes, so excuse me for a minute. Part of this, kind of going along the lines of that teacher thing, part of this preciousness of individuality is the saying that, when the student is ready, the master appears. I've heard that a lot, and I think that it's been attributed to an actual student waiting, and when it's ready, the teacher appears to the doorway. What has been passed on to me as far as that goes is it can be that way. If you need someone outside of yourself to be a teacher for you, they'll show up, in different ways as people in your lives or experiences or whatever that is. I think there is that piece that happens. There's also a piece, though, that when the student is ready, the master appears within yourself. So it's like, when you are learning so much and when you're that student, when you're ready, you appear as a master to yourself. You are a master upon yourself. So that is also something that's been empowering for me, is not being so much outside of myself as far as advice or wanting to know anything, wanting to be taught something. All of the answers are within us as individuals for our very selves. There really isn't anything that anyone outside of us can tell us about ourselves, or about our experience, or about what's going to happen, or anything else like that. We are the only ones that know our truth. And so, so we've been playing with that a little bit in that distillation phase, as far as just really hunkering down and finding my truth, no matter what opinions are out there, or advice, or solicited or no. A lot of it, is solicited. Like, what do you think about this? Or especially things that we're caught up in or attached to, or whatever. We really want to know. But the thing about that, for me, again, has been that I always know. I may not always know right in that moment. I may need to take a step back from what it is that I really want, or that I'm scared about or frustrated about or whatever, but I always know. I always have the answer for myself. And if I don't have it in that particular moment, it will come. And there may be, I just need to check in with myself. Is there a level of letting go? Is there a level of, well, for me it's usually a level of letting go. But, is there a level of fear? Is there whatever it is? So that's been a big part of the gig, with me lately. It's been a very large process for me. There are levels of this that I've been working for probably a few lifetimes. So that's been big. And I find also that when I'm right within myself, when I am upright, when I am aligned, when I am grooving in my groove, I am able to see the all within the all, like the flowers on the tree, that I was talking about a little bit ago. I'm able to see the God within the person, or within the flower, or within whatever being it is, within the animal, within the whatever. When I am right within myself, I see that very clearly. It's like there's nothing else other than that. So there's there's that. That's, you know, the all, the all that is within the all, and you know, it goes back and forth. It's the all within the individual and the individual within the all. The connection of all things, that oneness and beingness. So it's been really cool. It's still, you know, like a rosebud opening up. Still, you know, it's not like I'm all happening with all that, but it's been the process so far. This is, the next thing is probably going to sound a little incongruent. Let's see here. But it's also something that has been up lately. It's up in the world, and it's been up in my life. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that as well. And that's something also that it's up to be cleared, but it's also up for a level of, it's like a call. It's like a call to be present. It's a call to stand up. So the subject is bullying and that level of energy. So there's a level of energy that's up right now about the bullying, and this was starting to come up a little bit before, you know, with the, I talked about it with the snarky remarks on Facebook and just in life in general. Like, it was like this attacking, you know, energy, and it's a little bit different. It's it has a level of feeling a bit older. And, you know, whereas the attacking is like aggression, you know, like kind of boom, you know, and this bullying is, it's like, it's more steady, I guess, is how it is for me. So there's a level of bullying ourselves that happens sometimes, and that is something that is, again, you know, it's really, I'm used to speaking in general terms, and that individuality piece is throwing me off a little bit. There's this level of bullying I feel and I see as my truth, would be extremely beneficial for the planet to let go. And letting this go on all levels, the bullying of self, I feel like that is releasing a bit from the planet, and the level of bullying at the workplace, in the family, in groups. It's like a different, interesting level, and it can be a group bullying, or it can be a person within a group that's bullying. But it's not about the person. It's about that level of energy that's there. And it's my truth that there is a call now to stand up to stop this energy. And again, it's not about the person that's doing it necessarily. It's about standing up and calling out the energy and saying, enough. This is not going to fly anymore. You know, part of that is, you know, realizing the preciousness of your individuality, your personage, you know, that is just not going to have it anymore. This is going on in an area in my life right now. It has been going on for a while. It's probably been going on and repeating itself through my life for a while. But I'm at a place right now where I have gone through this distillation process and realized the preciousness of myself, and the preciousness of other people, and the preciousness of each individual in a group, where if this behavior is going on, it's not acceptable. And if people around are not going to say anything, or the people that should say something do not, then I will. So this has happened recently. It's not quite done yet. But again, it's bringing up my energy to say no, to be done with this cycle. You know, again, may not be happening in your life, but it's happening in mine. And so it's a level of being done with this energy. But I see it as important that it's not, you know, I don't see it as just being in my space, basically. I do see it in a lot of areas, and so I guess this part of this video is a call to stand up, you know, to just say no, to just say stop it, you know, and to acknowledge, you know, within seeing that preciousness of individuality, to acknowledge that that individual is better than the behavior, that deep down they're better than this. So it's that type of call. It's not about punishment, it's not about judgment, it's about seeing that people are better than the way that they're behaving, and bringing that to the awareness. I believe that bullying and abuse is a cycle. You know, in the abuse community, there's a saying that, you know, the abused becomes the abuser. It's a cycle of powerlessness, and it's a cycle of not being seen. There's so many elements and different, you know, that is very individual for people. So it's about stopping that cycle, and about coming into beingness with that preciousness of individuality within oneself and within those around us. So these are the things that are up right now, at least in my world. It's been, again, like a whole, it's been a process. It's been a process of rebirthing. It's been a process of letting go of old beliefs and old patterns, and distilling, you know, who it is that I am, and really being okay with who I am, no matter what is going on around me, no matter what advice or opinions are around me, and really being in that center place, you know, that we've talked about as well, you know, with the grounding and the connecting and being centered and everything. So it's really been a strengthening exercise in that area. So this is really interesting. Like, I want to say, you know, I wish that for all of you, and I, you know, I wish for, you know, everyone to be able to have this and to see this, and you know, I would love to share this, hence, you know, the video, but it's really interesting because I've not yet found my language with this new way of being, because I know that that everybody has their individual journey, and this may not be part of it, and it's a trip. It's interesting to try and verbalize it differently from how I have been. So bear with me on that. Another thing that I wanted to say, that's the door closing, is that because of this individuality, the preciousness of the individuality, and really wanting to preserve that for everyone, I am considering discontinuing doing readings. Only because I truly believe that you know your answers within yourself. Even if it has to do with another person or a situation or whatever it is, I really, really believe that. And so I feel a bit at a loss for telling anybody what it is that I see for them, because what I see for them is not going to be necessarily within their truth. You know, I see a lot of stuff, but it's not going to be through your eyes. So I'm probably going to be discontinuing doing readings. I may still continue doing healings, although that is a whole other thing where I believe that we do and can heal ourselves. Although, you know, there's some stuff sometimes that we need help with. So anyhow, just wanted to put that out there as well. That you know, you are all, to me, precious, precious individuals, and that there's nothing that I can tell you that you don't know already. I may be just kind of poking at the bear a little bit and waking some stuff up as I speak, maybe, or not. So, anyway, I think that we're complete today, and I'll be seeing you next time. Aloha.